Valera versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Watch your back.
No coin for this. I think I have like 5 other 2-drops than this. I mean, I can always turn to Dagger, I guess. And I could find a 1-drop. Kinda makes sense, right? Huh. Got rewarded.
Hello.
One day, I'll be a real man.
Da, 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 da. Next turn I can kill a 3-drop this way. Given the drawback of the zombie Chow. Yeah, and this gets bigger also. Probably makes sense.
Here we go.
We're using real source.
I mean, 2 equals 3 against the mage most of the time. And if I have to, I can make this a 3-attack minion. Okay, not in this case. Could sabotage, but he wants to kill.
Well,
Wants to ping both of these minions. I guess this also makes sense. If he plays a 4-drop, I'm most likely to kill it. Okay.
Run away!
So the question I have to answer is this worth my bomb lobber? Probably not. Already got card advantage. Oh. It's at least worth my Assassinate. If I played the bomb over in like last turn, I could have played the sabotage now. If this wasn't around, then yeah. Probably wouldn't have assassinated, but oh wow. Well, I can still trade here, right? So, oh no. Whoops. Somehow doing the math wrong.
Special delivery! Shields up!
I mean, both of these minions die to Flame Strike, but he won't use Flame Strike if I don't do this, so... Oh. The doorbell. Given that there's a taunt in the way, I don't feel too bad dropping the Warlord here. Could also sabotage though. Yeah, I think I like this more. Question is, do I want to drop the Flame Juggler? All these...
I got this.
Let's do it this way. It's kind of rough though, because if he doesn't have Flame Strike, I want to drop this and kill this so that I can develop a good Kel'Thuzad turn. If he doesn't have it, and playing around Mind Control tag, playing around Flame Strike, playing around something like Frostbolt hit, ping. Yeah, okay. Did the right choice. Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Six against my 5. kinda even. If I get good Kel'Thuzad value, then it should be alright. The problem is I only have 6 damage right now. Okay, that's my sabotage minion.
Here we go.
But this was a 2-for-1 anyways.
Put this apple on your head.
Knowledge is power, and I know a lot. I learn.
Could actually Shiv my own. No. It would gain +1/+1 and wouldn't die. So I will Shiv this, I guess. Ah, 1 turn too late. Like 1 draw too late. He wasn't able to deal with this in a good way. So I guess he might not have a. Well, he might have a second Flame Strike.
Here we go.
Please hit it. Please, Ogre, hit it. Fuck. In case of a second Flame Strike, this is really bad because it can kill everything.
Choose soon.
Because of the spell power. The problem is I won't get value of it. If he has a Flame Strike, I won't get value of this anyways. Oh, okay. Of course this one works too. So I guess I only have like 2 Boulderfist Ogres and a Master Jouster. But I have a 50-50 on killing him. And a Boulderfist Ogre. Okay, fine.
This one.
Yes!
Here we
Pet, 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 pet.
Valera versus
Demonic Angel.
I will fight with honor.
Watch your back.
I think I keep this with coin. Wow. Wow. That's a hand. It's probably the best starting hand of all I got so far. What is happening? This looks amazing. Even though I don't really have a good next turn, but the turns afterwards.
Reporting for duty.
Guess I just kill it this way.
Here we go.
Don't want to run into a consecration too badly. Seems like I just deadly poison for 1 charge. And then get a 5/3. Yeah. Alright. I think I can take it slow here.
Here we go.
It's fun how I was excited about all these cards and still didn't play one of them.
Let me think.
just me and Mr. Fight.
Wow, I can really benefit from the one damage thing here. And then next turn Ogre probably.
X marks the spot.
Don't want to run too much into a consecration.
Here we
The 5/3 is pretty threatening. It's good. I guess the... okay. But he also has a true silver champion. I guess I play just back-to-back ogres then.
Shields up. Red alert.
My shield for Argus.
Okay. So he needs to kill this one. Yeah. Well, I guess I have to take the zombie chow drawback then. Or just play the ogre. Actually, just playing the second ogre is fine enough. Even against something like kings, it's still alright. With a bomb lobber in hand. Didn't seem like he had a consecration. I'm not sure if he would have played it so far. But these two seem pretty good. Ah, okay. I just developed my Sunfury protector already. My patient assassin, but this comes right in time. Could have killed it this turn, but I'm greedy with my Kel'Thuzad. If you play something like Master Jouster, I can just run everything in.
Follow the rule.
Aw. Well, I'll get it back. I'll get everything back. Oh no, I cannot... Oh. No, why did you do this trade? Oh. I can't sacrifice something. I think I still play it.
I got this.
My only problem is like silence consecration. Otherwise I'll get 2 Boulderfist's Ogre back. What heart removal thing could he play? Something like Abusive Sergeant or Dark Iron Dwarf, Big Game Hunter. Okay.
The victory is yours.
Nice. Another Paladin. Paladin seem to fare well right now.
Watch your back.
I have to keep the Yeti, I think. It's by far my best 4-drop. And I might have to, like, inspire this guy.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
You said you weren't sure about this deck. I'm never sure about my decks. I'm at 10.5 for both of these runs on average again. That's pretty good. I guess I play around Noble Sacrifice here.
Here we go.
Nice.
We're using real swords.
Especially because I don't have a 3-drop anyways. So I can as well just do this now.
Well played.
Thank you.
That was a pretty good opening.
Reporting for duty.
Here we go.
Shields up.
We're using swords.
There would have been a merit in daggering up again so that I could deal like 4 damage the next turn to kill something like a spider tank. And I guess now I have a 4, 5, 6 curve. Oh, wow. Okay. I think I just leave this be there.
We're using
I
real
got this.
swords.
This thing already got some value. Next turn maybe Bomb Lobber.
Run away!
Yeah, pretty much. I know, does he coin something? Ah.
The light protects me.
That's really bad now. For two reasons. I can't realistically use my Bomb Lobber. And if I use the Deadly Poison on this, then I have nothing to do with it. With the rest of my mana. Maybe I just play this. The Rider thingy. I guess it's my best play. And then trade here because he will get too much value of this and this. The shadows. And against something big I have this. Otherwise I just play this. If he has kings or something. Okay. Is this big enough for Assassinate? I mean, this leaves my guy with 3. Zero. Oh, now I have something to play with my Deadly Poison, so I guess it's alright. I could also just play this because it lines up quite well against this, but let's just do it this way. I feel like developing my weapon helps with future turns because I need, like, to get off the randomness here. I can do, like, double trade and kill a Lost Hall Strider or whatever. I don't know. And kill, I don't know, 2-drop. Okay. This works, of course. I might Time Rewinder to be a Boulderfist Ogre. Haha! Okay.
I am ready.
That's a lot of stuff happening here. That's a 2-3, right? Okay, that's good. Even though...
Here we go.
If I return the Rider and play him again as Ogre, I can as well just play the Ogre. I need a board, and that's pretty decent because it's really like resilient to Consecration.
Reporting for duty.
These are 2 good hits for the Flame Juggler also. Looks pretty decent as long as he doesn't have Mind Control tech, and even if he does and deals my Ogre, I still have the Assassinate.
It's getting hot in here.
2/3 of it. Okay, 2/3 of hitting something useful, but he declines, so fine. So I make myself vulnerable to Consecration, I guess. If 9-10 damage, it's not enough for my taste. 2 should equal 1 most of the time, but
Here we go.
if I return him, he's a 5 mana Ogre. Yes, but if I use the 1 mana, then it's like a 6 mana Ogre. So I can as well just play my Ogre and keep up the pressure by still having this on the board as a 3 whatever. 3-1, 3-2. Like even if he has Consecration now, yeah, it doesn't matter. Nice. Double digits! And another Paladin. Paladins are really popular. Like, even more popular than mages today.
You're that.
It's interesting. No, it's not good enough to keep. I think. Okay, I can play Lowly Squire into Coin Deadly Poison. And then I have nothing for turn 3 and 4. Ah, we'll see. This is so weird. I made Paladin popular with my aggro deck. Well, but this is Arena. Okay, so many possibilities here. Can play Lowly Squire and trade 1 for 1. I can coin Dagger and then probably read Dagger and Deadly Poisonous 2-drop. That's all quite messed up. I'll just play on curve. It's a 1 for 1. Otherwise I mess up my curve way too much.
Reporting for duty.
He has to trade. Definitely has to. There's no way he's not trading. Seriously? Okay, he heard me.
Run away!
Go ahead. Make my day.
Dorgan, what's your opinion on Chillmaw? It's the 6. It's like the 6/6 abomination dragon thing, right? I don't know. It looks weird. I can coin this out as an ogre. That's nice.
Here we go.
Dorgan, can I ask you something? Sure, people do this all the time. Yeah, definitely coin a 5 and probably this. It's pretty good. Coining out of an ogre on 6, on 4. Looks pretty decent. Which packs do you get from Arena now? It's actually random now. You get like, yeah, random packs from Arena. And if you ask what pack I got from the last run, then it's GVG.
So many options.
Do you use any tier list or run a tracking site? I track my Arena runs afterwards, but I don't use any tier lists. Did anything change here? No.
We are the sword in shadows.
I can trade with this one next turn and play the healer. That's nice. Or I won't be able to hit something big, and even if I... Okay. Well... This might be...
Reporting for duty.
not anymore. Okay, it's getting weird. It's getting weird. 10, 13. I think I don't want to take this damage here. So I can use the Assassin, but if it's Noble Sacrifice, then I don't want to use the Assassin, but this guy. So can I like clear everything and kill this with Bomb Lobber? It's like hit, 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 but I have to use my Assassin on a 1/1 then. Doesn't make sense either. Like I think I checked the secret first, right? Okay, it's Noble Sac.
Well played.
Which means I do this. Right.
Choose soon.
Pretty much. That's 7, 12, 14. Let's see if I can set up the Master Jouster.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Dorgan, I noticed you played a bit of Priest. You should look into Reynard's Dragon Priest. Yeah, well, Dragon Priest is definitely something I wanted to look into. I hope I get the right cards today to do so. Oh, another secret? Are you kidding me? What the hell? I'm getting kind of low. I really wish I had an AoE in here. Like, imagine like a Fan of Knives 3 turns ago. I I have 1, 2, 3 attacks for 5 guys, so I couldn't narrow down the board if his secret is Avenge. But I have to kill this, and if it's Redemption? So much stuff to think about. Is there any new Paladin secret, by the way? Okay. Interesting. Does he have another secret? 3, 7. Needs 6 more. If I could play like this and this, I would definitely do it to like get something small. I really need to win this now. Yes. He had a second one. Wow. Competitive spirit! Oh my goodness. Yes, there is a new one. And that's it! I just gave it to him, right? Was this secret that just popped up? Oh god. Okay. These tokens are so valuable now! Ah, shit. It hurts. But he's almost out of cards. I just need to stabilize somehow. Oh yes, he traded. Oh my goodness, he traded. That's really good. I suspect this to be eye for an eye, basically. If I'm right and it was the second one that triggered. I have to admit I didn't really pay attention. Best Paladin arena deck ever? Yeah. Feels like it. Sheesh, it's not Avenge. Okay. So it's not Avenge, it's not Noble Sacrifice, it's not Redemption, it's not Repentance, so it has to be eye for an eye. Okay, so I want to hit with this. So many summon things here. Stop it.
Reporting for duty.
Ah, 2/2. Okay. I finally think that I got this. Or I could take 1 more damage to kill this. And no, yes, no, he would have used the consecration, pretty sure. So I'm doing it this way. That's eye for an eye, right? Yes. Actually, I could have saved myself 1 damage. Whoops. So if he has a consecration...
Put your faith in the light.
Wow! Seriously? That's amazing. Okay. Shit. I die in 3 turns if I give him a weapon, which I have to. I trade this probably, because this makes me more flexible and this dies too easily. And then I play like these 2. So if 7, 10, it should be alright. It's a really good Paladin deck, yes. I think I won't hit anything with my weapon. He needs 8 damage. It's like exactly Reckless Rocketeer, Blessing of Might.
Your magic shall not save.
Almost.
Reporting for duty. Mount up.
Okay.
Victory is yours.
These games are so close. Final boss again. And it's a priest.
The light shall bring victory.
My deck is kind of board centric. So I'm up against what I suspect to be an 11-win priest. Which makes me kind of nervous, to be honest. I have a 2-3-4, but if you can heal his stuff... Oh wow, he kept all his cards. I have a 2-3-4-5. Let's see how this turns out. Well, I don't really have decisions to make here, I think.
Is someone injured?
Whether or not to play this, for example. Maybe just dagger and play Spider Tank. But he can coin Balance Chosen. Wow. He's thinking, so it might be just a Shadow Word Death. A Power Shield. Almost. So best case scenario, Flame Juggler hits this. He coins Balance Chosen, makes this a 6 health guy, kills this, that's a 4 health guy, and I'm still not able to kill it. Let's see what happens. I suspect him to do so, but there's not much I can do about it. But the Spider Tank at least survives this girl. Oh, great. Okay. Now we're talking. Zombie Chow? I don't really want him to draw cards.
Here we go.
I mean, I can just wait until I can bomb lob it. He used the coin for the Crusader, so if he doesn't have the Balance Chosen now, I can just Yeti.
I am the dancing master.
Oh. Oh wow, that's like overturns. Okay. Well, a 3 mana 2/2 is pretty bad though. Is this a neutral? Yes. But he can still use like Balance Chosen here. Power Shield also brings it out of Yeti range, but it doesn't kill my Yeti. So I'm curious what comes here. I really want him to punish him for the turn 1 Northshire to get a 0 for 1. Okay. At least the Yeti got 2 for 1. And I can use the Bomb Lover. Okay, fine. It's not the best play here to make, but... Oh, can make this a 4-6 taunt. This might be even more interesting. He didn't have a good way of dealing with a 4-5. I have Sabotage and Boulderfist Ogre and Bomb Lover as options for the next turns. Oh no. Oh no, he found it. No. 3-7. What is this now? Ah, okay. Plus 0 power. Wow. Okay.
In the light's name.
It still dies to this, but he draws 2 cards. Which I don't like too much. I could also keep my 6-1 around. Is this worth it? If this hits this, then I hit it with my weapon, and then I sabotage. This would be like the best play here, I think. But I can't count on it. If I assassinate, I just zombie chow and my thing dies anyway. Oh, well, okay.
Limitless power.
I'm still ahead on cards. Because he invested a lot into this move. That's an assassin. No, that's a sabotage. Yep, it's a sabotage. Should be better against Cabal, Shadow Madness. Yeah. Not better against Shadow Pain, but... Oh! I wish I would have played this. Did someone say bombs? Wasn't me. This could be an important hit.
It's getting hot in here.
Yes. So I can... Don't think that...
Here we go.
I don't think that taking the 5 damage here will matter too much for me. He can clear with Organized Circle, and no, not clear,
Pay attention.
and Light Bomb. Good spell.
I am ready to learn.
This worth an Assassinate. Hit here, hit there. Heal, hit. Bloodsail Raider. Seems alright.
Here we go.
Popcorn. Toasty.
Thing I want, like, if you play something like a Force Tank Max, then I really need this. Or what? I don't know. Prophet Valiant. I want to, like, play the attrition game and he gets something that gains card advantage. That sucks. And I still have a lot of big cards in my deck. Wow, it gets even better. Like Kel'Thuzad or Master Jouster. I really need to save this now. As long as I don't know what cards he got from me. 7, 10, 14. I really don't want to play even more into Holy Nova. That's 5, that's 6. Yep.
Well met.
Let the pain speak to me.
I have to do it though, because this is just too awkward. Okay. I could have had one more charge on this one. I think it doesn't matter too much, but... against the Holy Nova I'm kind of safe, as long as he doesn't have something like Cobalt Geomancer Holy Nova. Because I draw a card here, this is like... Yes! Hahaha! Woo! Two 12-win games in a row. Nice. I was a little bit more unsure about this deck, but it actually seems like what I said in the Shaman run, that the meta got quite a bit slower with the new expansion, because you have cards like this, and I don't know what's new, this, and this, and this. It doesn't seem to be too snowbally, but no, it's quite snowbally, but just if you have like Thunderbluff Valiant at 7 mana or something. So the snowball begins later in the game. I feel like the Flame Juggler, okay, is like a 2-drop tempo card, but you usually like it rarely happened that my opponent played something like a Loot Hoarder, and even if he does, I kind of want to coin out instead of using this one. So it's like a little bit better of a Crocalist, but it didn't like it's not a coin mech whopper into double snow chugger or something. This guy also like requires combo and deals just 1 damage. That's all pretty tame. These two just like get value, like this for 5 mana, this the turn afterwards. This guy needs combo, which is nice at coin 4, on turn 4, I have to say. This guy needs, well, big minions to be used, and it's at turn 6. So it seems like the meta got a bit slow with the new cards, so the card pool like makes you want to have board control to use your inspire effects and such. So what my I was afraid of getting overrun, and I think at least one of the games I got overrun like pretty badly. Can't quite recall the other game though. So I think my fear was justified, but it didn't happen too often. I also had like Squire and I think I won one game pretty easily just because I had the zombie chow turn 1. And I had a few pings with my weapon and like this and this. And the Lowly Squire also pulled some weight. I really think this card is quite cool. At least in some... Like in Rogue, you actually get tempo by using your hero power. Because you also have you can probably kill something with your dagger and then have the dagger still around. If you play Lowly Squire and Warrior, for example, I think it's way worse. Because you would have to kill a 2/2 of your opponent, you have to skip your turn 2 to just armor up, which is like way worse. But a mage or druid or rogue, I can see this working, especially in rogue actually. I liked it here a lot. So I had a good amount of 2-drops. My mid game was, I think I lost 1 game just due to the attrition against the shaman, where I didn't have any mid game and you just got to establish his board and I could never get it back. And just wasted all my resources to deal with his stuff, and he just snowballed me more and more away. Yeah, and the second game was against the Paladin, right? So these two things happened. So these were the weaknesses of the deck, and these 2 games, they got exploited. But all the other decks seemed to be kind of slower, which this deck could deal well with. And I had like 2 hard removals with a Sabotage, which is an epic, so glad to have it there. With the Assassinate. The Kel'Thuzad, I actually thought it would get a lot of value, but I had like 2 games where it actually came out, so it wasn't that great of a card anyways. The Master Jouster pulled some weight when it got taunt. This was really important. Actually, I would like it more if it was, I don't know, Sunwalker without the Divine Shield? I don't know. So hard to say, but gain taunt and Divine Shield. I need the taunt usually from the Joust. So I don't know how I like this card actually, because it's so hit or miss. A 5/6 for 6 is not like terrible, but every time I played this card I really needed taunt. I didn't really need the Divine Shield, but I needed the taunt. So it would be nicer if it was like a 5/6 taunt that could get Divine Shield through Joust. I don't know. The Gadgetzan, like, yeah, didn't really pull its weight, but didn't show up too often and wasn't too devastating anyways. Overall, pretty somewhat late game focused curve, which for the reasons I mentioned turned out to work. So let's see what the rewards are, and then we get to a big pack opening. Gold is nice. Oh, and we get another pack to open. And I got an Arcane Blast, which is an epic. That's nice. And more gold. So kind of perfect. More perfect would have been a second pack or more gold, I suppose. Like more than 100. Well, that's a lot of dust. It's okay. I can't complain.